Yo, what's going on, guys? So, I am Daveyon Bradley, and together we are more than 23. So, I just want to say thank you, guys. Thank you, everybody that's been sharing the videos, that's been liking the videos, that's been following the videos. Thank you for all the support, all the love that you guys been sharing. And so, I just want to go into this story, guys, and it is a powerful story. I was listening to this guy and he really inspired me for this one tonight. So I just want to give him a shout out later on. But I just want right now. I just want you to close your eyes, right? Just close your eyes and use your imagination for me. Just for a second. Just close your eyes, right? And imagine like what would the best life possibly be like? Like if you could imagine like if you can just close your eyes right now and just think like what would life be like if I said you can have the perfect life today, what would that look like? Like close your eyes right now, really, and think about if you was to have the perfect life, if you broke right now, if you don't have a dollar to your name, you don't have a penny to your name, and things are going bad, I want you to close your eyes and just use your imagination. Like, what would you do if you had all the money in the world? Like, if you were financially set, if you were financially set, and you could do anything you want financially. What would life be like? What would you spend it on? Like really think about like what would you invest it in? Like think about who would you give back to? Like think about that. Like what would you do with that money? I want you to think about like if you are married or if you're not happy in your relationship right now, I want you to really sit back and think about what would life be like if it was better. Like if I had the perfect marriage or if I had the perfect relationship. What would it be like? Would you come home and somebody tell you they love you every day? Would you come home and your kids run to you open arms shouting your name? Well, what would it be like? Like if you close your eyes right now and imagine somebody telling you every day, baby, I love you, and have a good day at work, like giving you a kiss before you walk out. Imagine dinner on the table every night. Imagine sitting at the table, no phones, no nothing, just conversation with the family. I want you to if just imagine if you go to work every night, if you go to work every day, can you imagine just making your own schedule? Just do that for me. Just imagine being a boss. Just imagine being the best employee there is. Just imagine doing something different. Like just think your wildest. Just imagine owning a company that you work for. Just use your imagination right now. Just imagine being a hiring manager. Just imagine being the person that do the hiring and firing. Just imagine hiring your best friend, or imagine hiring your boys that you grew up with that got felonies, or your friends that you grew up with that don't have college degrees. Just imagine that. Just if you want to be a judge, I want you to really just imagine like giving somebody a break. Like I want you to really just close your eyes and imagine what would it be like. Like what would it be like if you really was living the best life that you can really possibly imagine? Imagine them having a home that you dreamed of. Imagine playing in a football game and you running out in the field and you catching a ball and your family screaming your name and telling you how proud they are of you. Just imagine walking across the stage. If you're graduating, if you're in school, just imagine what it feel like to graduate and walk across that stage and your family holding up their iPhones and their galaxies and taking pictures and just telling you how proud they are. And when they called your name, everybody stood up and started screaming and clapping so loud that they didn't hear the next person behind you name because your family was so proud of you. I want you to really sit back and imagine it. What would your life be like? Like open your eyes right now, guys. I want you to take a second and open your eyes and listen to me. It's possible. It's possible. It's not just an imagination. It's possible. I want you to really grab that. Like really think about that. Take that to heart. Take that in. It's possible. It's possible. It was a guy, it was a wise man that once said, he said the real problem in the world is that too many people grow up. And I think what he meant by that is that between the ages of 0 to the age that you are now, I think what he meant was that you lost your ability to use your imagination. I think that what he meant is that don't nobody imagine no more. Like somewhere between those ages, you lost your imagination. Because when I remember when I was young, I used to use my imagination. I used to want to be Jeff Hardy, and I used to want to be Jeff Hardy from WWF. And I get on the top bunk and I put my fingers up and I use my imagination and I flip off the ropes and in my mind I was Jeff Hardy for the moment. And I do some of the wildest things because in my imagination I was able to do the impossible. What I wasn't able to do in the physical, I was able to do in my imagination and give birth to it in the physical. So I just want to let you know right now, guys, use your imagination. Continue to use your imagination. It's a story behind this, guys. So I got a homie, one of my boys. One of my boys is a great story. I looked up this story. I did some research on this story, and one of my boys told me, "Say, check this guy out, man. It's a good story. You should do some work on it. You should make a video on it." And as I did my research on it, I found out that this guy was born and raised in Chicago, right? This guy was born and raised in Chicago. Shout out Chicago, that's where I'm from. This guy was born and raised in Chicago, and as he was going through a struggle already, he grew up loving to draw. He grew up loving art, loving film, and he was drawing, and everybody made fun of him and said his art was bad, his art was garbage, his art was trash. And so he didn't let that stop him, guys. He continued to use his imagination and continue to draw different things and continue to grow. And as time went on, he got into filming, and things went wrong with the filming because his brother was sick, and he had to go all the way to Hollywood to be at his brother's bedside, and his brother was on his deathbed. And what happened was he fly over there. He had to sell his camera to get a plane ticket, so he lost his camera, and he go over there, and next thing you know, his brother ended up surviving. So in the midst of that, he got hired out of company. The company steal his ideas. In the midst of that, his brother and him open up another company. And next thing you know, that company closed down. And then he opened up another company. And then that company closed down. And then next thing you know, he on his way back to Chicago, coming back home, ready to quit. Like most people would be ready to quit. He was on a train ride using his imagination. Using his imagination. And this guy came up with one of the most magnificent cartoons that we can ever think of, guys. This guy came up with one of the most popular cartoons that we can ever think of. This guy created a mouse, guys. You know where I'm going with this. This guy created a mouse. And on the train ride, him, his brother, and his mom was on the train ride. And his mom told him, she said, you should call this mouse Mickey Mouse. You know, and she said it should be something bubbly. It should be something that's friendly for the kids. You should name this mouse Mickey Mouse. And now today, Walt Disney, baby, that's his name, guys. That's the guy that I was talking about. Walt Disney owned a company that is worth $88 billion. And even today in his grave, his name is still remembered. He left a mark because of his imagination. He left a great memory with almost every adult in the world today and every child that is living today because of imagination. Let me tell you guys, let me explain to you what his imagination did. But with one man's imagination, this man was able to with Walt Disney is the very first company to produce a cartoon with sound in it. Walt Disney is the very first company to produce a cartoon with color in it. Walt Disney Company was the very first company to open a theme park that catered to both adults and children. Walt Disney was the very first company to create technology that had life-size robots. Because of this man's imagination, Walt Disney was the very first company to have 360 theater, a 360 film theater. You know what I mean? Because of one man's imagination, regardless of what he was going through, regardless of the trials and tribulation, regardless of what people told him that his art was trash, regardless of what people told him was not possible, regardless of what people told him, he still used his imagination. And because he used his imagination, he owned one of the largest companies, one of the most successful companies in the world today. And I just want to let you know that, guys, because of your imagination, it's possible for you too. I want you to know, just continue to use your imagination. Don't stop. Don't grow up now, guys. Don't grow up now. Everybody want to go back to being a kid again, and I want to let you know the key to being a kid again is to use your imagination, baby. Use your imagination. Use that wild thought and go after it. You know what I mean? So I just want to let you guys know. I say this guy, Walt Disney, was in the midst of an interview, right? And he said something. The guy asked me, say, "Man, Walt," he said, "Disneyland is so great. It's a magnificent company. What more can you do to it? Like, it's perfect. What else can you do to it?" And check this out. You know what he said? His exact words was, "Disneyland will never be complete. Disneyland will never be complete." He said it will continue to grow as long as there is imagination left in the world. You hit it? I don't think you caught that. You guys thinking about Disneyland. Let me tell you, I'm thinking about you, baby. Walt Disney said specifically, he said Disneyland will never be complete. It will continue to grow as long as there is imagination left in the world. I want to let you know today that you will never be complete. You will continue to grow as long as there is imagination left in you. As long as you continue to use your imagination, you will continue to grow. Your situation will continue to get better. Your lifestyle will continue to prosper. Just use your imagination, guys. And I just want to let you know that, guys, that I believe in you and I believe in your dreams. I believe in your imagination. I'm Daveyon Bradley, but together we are more than 23, guys.